have you considered apologizing to Hasan? So, like, what's wrong with me asking you that?
What would I apologize to Hasan for? Yeah, of course. I mean, wait, hold on. Did somebody just kick him?
Yeah, have you ever thought about apologizing to Hasan for everything you've done?
Yeah.
What have you done in regards to this whole Hasan dynamic that you felt on your end was wrong?
I mean, there have been times where I like lashed out on him pretty hardcore after I feel like he's lashed out on me.
Recently on stream, when you were talking about Steven Crowder, I recall there was a moment where you started making fun of Hasan, saying basically something to the effect of, oh, Hasan will just say mindlessly that Steven Crowder is guilty just because he's a conservative. So that just got me kind of wondering, like, why are you so hateful to Hasan?
Because I hate him?
No, but why do you hate him, though? Like, broadly
I
speaking.
feel like the brand of politics that he engages in is just 100% partisan hackery. I don't feel like he has very many original thoughts or anything of value that he contributes to the political world. I typically think you would go there just to see, like, what do progressives think about a given issue right now, and it wouldn't be for any type of original thoughts or factual reporting or anything of value outside of, like, pop politics, basically.
Well, let's be clear here. Is that actually the reason why you hate him, or is it because, like, he used to be friendly with you and then he burned the bridge with you?
Well, let's see. There's two different ways I can answer that question. I could say, yes, that is the reason, but if I was lying about it, I would never say that. Or I would say, no, that's not the reason, because I don't feel that way, in which case I'm giving you the same answer either way, right? So,
well,
I don't know what the point of that question is. So I guess my counter would be, there are certain people that I don't like Vosh, who I would still give more credits for political understanding to than Hasan. And I think we've probably burned similar bridges. If anything, Vosh's has been worse to me. But I think I am generally fair in terms of my treatment of Hasan. If he says dumb shit, I say he says dumb shit. And if people make up shit about him, or if he doesn't say dumb shit, I'll say, oh, this is probably a fair take. I think I've...
Hold on. You're definitely way too uncharitable to Hasan in general. Like, he literally can't do almost anything right in your eyes.
Well, because he doesn't really do much, but there's not much that we really cover. But yeah, no, he's generally going to just give me a progressive take. Like, here's Hasan saying something that's like the standard progressive take. So if I agree with the standard progressive take on something, I'll probably agree with him. And if I don't, then I probably disagree with him. But he doesn't really offer anything beyond that.
Is it inconceivable to you that maybe he just has a normal, common, progressive opinion because he's just a normal, common, sensible progressive? Like, does it really have to be like some evil, sinister, like he's just copying and pasting whatever Twitter says because it'll make him the most money? Like, don't you think that maybe
is that those are the only two options, really? Is that what we're saying? Or could it be that he has like a very safe opinion that also makes him a of money, and it roughly aligns with his political views?
Okay, but then the way you frame it is like, oh yeah, he's just copy pasting whatever from Twitter because like you're making it sound extremely sinister, like he's some horrible person.
Hold on, I'm not trying to make it sound sinister. I'm trying to make it sound lazy. I think his politics are lazy. I don't think it's sinister. I don't think like behind the scene, he's probably a bit more edgy behind the scenes, but I doubt he's like behind the scenes like, oh, I hate black people and I'm super conservative. I don't think it's that. I'm sure that like progressive beliefs probably roughly align with what he believes.
Like, to be fair, he's not that lazy. Like, he did recently do that what is it?
Wait, before you name what he did, here's what I think he does. And then maybe what you're about to say will contradict that. I think the only things I think Hasan will do are whatever increases his financial gain or his clout gain. And he will never step outside that box. Now you tell me what he just did and we'll see if it contradicts either of those two predictions.
He bought out an entire dog shelter, but also like
Hold on, wait. So by bought out an entire dog shelter, I think what you mean to say is he donated $5,000 in a bougie dog shelter for people to adopt dogs, right?
Yeah, that's still a good thing, but you don't even want to give him credit for that?
No, I won't really give people credit for that. It was a bougie dog shelter. The people there probably don't need help with the adoption fees, and it was something obviously that he did for a clout gain. Who the fuck cares about adopted dogs when we have homeless people in the United States?
Okay, like...
Not to say that, like, you can't only... I'm not saying that you can't do any activism that doesn't involve solving the worst things in the world, but, like, clearly, like, donating for cute puppies in a bougie shelter where there's, like, celebrities adopting dogs, like, is probably, like, this is a clout up, right? It's not really, like, real activism or anything. Like, if anything, you could have at least pointed to the money that he donated to Turkey or whatever was at least a little bit better, but...
Yeah, he did that too, exactly. But like he'll do like pretty decent things, but he'll either write it off and saying, "Oh, that's lazy," or "Oh, he just did it for clout," or "Oh, he's just bad faith." And like one time, you even called him. I think you even once called him borderline evil because he criticized you after you insulted that rape victim on Twitter. And like that's just wild to me because
I feel like you're missing probably a lot of that story. That'd be my guess. I criticized him. I called him evil because he attacked me for making fun of a rape victim.
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably something else happened there, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But I feel like probably something else happened.
Yeah, you insulted a rape victim on Twitter. You called her like socially R-worded like 50 billion times and clingy and desperate. And then he responded by clapping at you and insulting you or whatever. And then you said, "Oh, I can't believe Hasan would do that. He knows he shouldn't do that. That's borderline evil." And I'm like, dude, I think that's kind of fair that like he clown on you a little bit.
I'm pretty sure we're missing some stuff of the story here, but that's fine. Go ahead.
No, that it's more. That's the gist of it. I don't think I'm misrepresenting anything.
Yeah, but the gist of Lauren Southern was that she was sinking boats in the Mediterranean, and the gist of, I mean, like you had a lot of.
No. Okay, how
many black people do you think Kyle Rittenhouse killed? I'm just curious.
He killed like 15. Anyway, the point. I was joking about Lauren. I was exaggerating.
Sure. Here's the thing: if you think there's something that Hasan has done well that I don't give him credit for, if you think I've been unfair in my treatment towards him in some place, then feel free to point it out. Like I think it was okay that he actually donated a sizable amount of money to I think it was the Amazon worker strike. That's probably okay. But he could do so much more with this platform. My complaint has been, and will probably always continue to be, that while you've got people like Fuentes or Lauren Southern, or more grandly now, the Daily Wire, that are like working on these huge documentary pieces and all this stuff, they're like doing so much work to further their political causes. Hasan has effectively done nothing. If Hasan were to die tomorrow, it would have absolutely no impact on the state of politics in the United States, because he almost has no impact on the state of politics in the United States.
That's absolutely not true. I think by virtue of him being such a massive left-leaning political streamer, like, do you know how many people he's probably like indirectly by virtue of him being a big blue-pilled political streamer? Do you know how many people he's probably blue-pilled?
Probably almost nobody would be my guess.
That is so cap. He is literally like the biggest left-leaning streamer on Twitch.
Yeah,
like,
and he probably gets a lot of people that
huge difference.
Yeah, but he like intentionally doesn't even engage with people that have political disagreements with him. He's just kind of like a collection point for a lot of people that have progressive ideas. But he does no political activism. He doesn't he doesn't like contribute his time or his actual clout towards like boosting anything in the Progressive Party, right? Like if Hasan Piker disappears tomorrow off the internet, what did progressive politics lose? They lose Hasan Piker's stream. If the Daily Wire would have disappeared tomorrow, what do they lose? They lose all the documentaries that they're working on. They lose all the support they give to political politicians. They lose like all of the work they do and try to like further their particular political causes, and all the different fucking Matt Walsh traveling to different states to talk in front of city councils or whatever, like all that shit. They lose a ton of stuff, right? Or if you were to compare it to like a lot of these political figures that go out and they actually do stuff in the world, for Hasan you would just lose his stream.
If you lose Hasan tomorrow, right? We lose a person who makes politics popular to engage with for young people. Like, absolutely, him being popular and him being super palatable and family friendly and polite and non-controversial, like that absolutely is a hugely valuable thing. Like, do you know how many young people wouldn't engage with politics if he wasn't there to make it like more engaging for them? Like, dude, like, come on. This is what I mean when I say like, you're so uncharitable to him because, like, let's be honest, you're really just upset that he betrayed you or whatever. And like, I just want to ask, like, is it out of the question for you to just be sensible and, like, apologize to him so that the two of you can stop fighting each other?
Okay, you're 10 out of 10, okay? It has to be a troll, okay? This is, like, the most soy shit I've ever heard in my entire life, okay?
I'm not trolling.
You have to be.
No, I'm not.
Come on, not even a little bit?
No, okay, here's the thing. I don't think any of your orbiters prior to me have ever asked you, like, have you considered apologizing to Hasan? So, like, what's wrong with me asking you that?
What would I apologize to Hasan for?
Because, like, you're just generally a jerk to him. You make, like, 50 billion videos about him, constantly milking him.
50 billion? I'm constantly milking him. Bro, I don't talk about Hasan that much on my stream.
Okay, maybe not anymore, but there was a time for, like, 2 years where it was just Hasan did this, Hasan did that, and, like, the thumbnail is just, like, plastering his face all over everything.
For a while, but it depends on what's going on, but you said it yourself. He's, like, one of the largest political figures. Look how many videos Hasan makes on Ben Shapiro. Like, Jesus. Yeah, of course. I mean, wait. Hold on. Did somebody just kick him? What? Wait, why? RTB, why? You guys are like unhinged. He had his chance last time I meant to ban him then? What? I don't understand why you would... Okay, where's Kelly? Kelly, please come back. Kelly, I want to talk about trans issues again. Where are you? You don't think Hasan sways a lot of young Twitch viewers to the left just by virtue of being friendly with their favorite streamer? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know how much he is actually swaying people versus he's just kind of like part of the whole like progressive zeitgeist. Like,
Kelly, just leave. Open now.
Oh, let's catch up on Donos, I guess. Aba.
Your mods just ban people mid conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. They're getting a little too uppity. I'm not sure why. I don't know why.
It's peripheral precocious puberty, not
somebody got to get fired, bro. These guys are crazy. Your mods need to. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, even if I didn't like that guy, that's actually wild. If you're in the middle of a convection and you somebody,
Jelly G argues about
your
side
mods
effects
like, no,
like an
fuck that guy. I don't want to hear him no more. Like,
that's
bro,
pretty wild.
You run this fucking channel? That's crazy.
True.
I didn't agree with the dude, but actually, you know, it was a little bit refreshing, and you are obsessed with Hasan, so I think he had a valid point.
Absolutely true. You know what they say: Hasan is to destiny as fresh and fit is to Aba and Preach. So,
you know what? That was actually pretty decent.
Yeah. What's up? How you doing? Where are you at right now? Are you allowed to say?
No. I was just watching because I was intrigued, and I was like, I thought when you said one of your mods kicked him, I thought you were joking, and when I realized you were serious, I was like, is this normal for you?
No, I don't know why. They've been getting crazy lately, okay? RTBA is out of control. He's like the cocaine bear from that movie. Is
RTBA a mod? I thought that was like an acronym for like, get the fuck out or something.
No, RTBA stands for Right to Bear Arms, and he is indeed a moderator.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully you bring the guy back on that. I'd be curious to hear how that goes. Because, yeah, have you ever thought about apologizing to Hasan for everything you've done?
Fuck no.
Okay, actually, you know what? Let me ask you this question then.
Oh.
On behalf of the soy guy who's just here, let me put on my soy hat.
Yeah.
What have you done in regards to this whole Hasan dynamic that you felt on your end was wrong?
I mean, there have been times where I like lashed out on pretty hardcore after I feel like he's lashed out on me, but not too often. Like there was that time I talked about the brothel that he went to that like was sex trafficking. But I mean that was true. But like it was probably I doubt that he was like sex trafficking, but I think this was after he had accused me of some weird shit of like my community being full of Nazis again or some dumb shit. So usually the worst things I do or the most regretful things I do, which hey, listen, I'm a human. It's usually when people tell a whole bunch of lies about me and slander me constantly. Sometimes I'll just like clap back with something, but then everybody's like, oh, but that's not true, and then my audience gets mad. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess I probably shouldn't do that. But it's kind of hard sometimes when everybody else just has like carte blanche to fucking make fun of you and like make shit up about you and just lie about you constantly. Yeah.
Do you guys ever see that bridge being rebuilt? Do you in your eyes?
If I 10x my audience, he would rebuild it. Or if his brand of politics starts to become less popular and mine becomes more popular, he might rebuild it. But no, he's a clout demon, unironically. And I'm not even really hating. That sounds so negative, and it sounds like I'm coping when I'm saying I don't hate it. Like I really do hate it. But like, I mean, obviously it's worked really well for him. He's networked out the ass. He's done a really good job like building his stream and his brand and everything. But yeah, he is like a networking monster.
All right. Anything else?
I wanted to ask you something, Aba. If that's okay.
Oh yeah, he's fine with it. Go ahead.
I was listening to your conversation with Ayla, I think it was a bit over a week ago, and she was asking you about insecurities. And you said your insecurity was feeling useful, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
I just thought that was really sad. Like you as a person, you have worth outside of like how useful you are, right?
Yeah, I don't believe that. No.
Do you feel that way towards other people, or just you?
No, I don't think that's true for everybody. But I think that I think I'd probably argue that for men, especially. I think there's definitely a need to like bring monetary value to our relationships, or to bring, you know, your body and your physical elements to a relationship in terms of sacrificing yourself for things like that. So yeah, there's things that I definitely feel I have to be of use for or of service for in order to feel valued, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit more specific. It wasn't just being useful in general. Because yeah, I don't know the way.
No. I mean, I would say I hyper focus on things that I think are going to be useful to others. Nah, I don't go out of my way to do stuff I absolutely loathe. But, you know, like obviously accumulating money helps because it helps me take care of the people I care about. So that's definitely useful. Alleviates their stresses. So for me, it kind of makes me feel as though I can be really important in that regards, which matters to them. So, it makes sense in my head, I think.
But I'm sure a lot of those people would still find a lot of worth in you as a person, regardless of how much money you had right there.
Sure.
I wouldn't.
There's different ways, but I think that's definitely one of the biggest ways. Like, I think I would have a hard time feeling useful to my family if I wasn't able to help them out financially, for sure.
Really?
Because financials is one of their biggest stresses in life, and if I can't alleviate that, then how am I that useful to them?
Huh. Like, having to feel useful to your family, that feels kind of sad. but is there not other ways that you feel useful to them? It's only money?
No, it's not just money. Obviously, there's emotional support.
It's
There's
like
different
the
things I
big
can do,
one.
but that's probably one of the biggest ones for sure. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of sad.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I know as an immigrant child, like your parents constantly want you to become a doctor or whatever the fuck it is. The reason why is they want you to have the financials possible so that you can take care of the people around you, be good. So it's like obviously things that you inherit as well from immigrant families. And I'm not saying it's not true for Anon, but like it's very common. So what I'm saying right now is not unique to me. It's just normal.
Okay. People. I didn't realize you were an immigrant. Sorry. I guess there's more context to how you feel about things.
Yeah. Do you think like my perspective is unique? I really don't feel like it is at all.
I don't necessarily think unique, but what I tend to find with people that when you ask them about usefulness in relation to worth, that when you try to apply the same thinking to anyone else outside of yourself, you would think that that was cruel and unkind. Like if you felt like anyone else on the planet, they had to be useful to be worthwhile, you would think, well, no, that's not true. Like my grandmother's really old and she can't do anything, but she still has a lot of worth. Like people that are sick and disabled or whatever, they still have a lot of worth. I don't think you would think any differently, right? But
I would.
No, I would.
They're
you
worthless.
Would think differently?
No, if I thought somebody was useless, yeah, I would definitely think I would diminish them. Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things you can do in terms of loving somebody else is to be of service. And if there's no ways that you can be of service because you're useless, then yeah, it'd probably diminish how I feel about you.
True.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you have a lot of other ways that you think people are useful. That's okay.
Sure. Not everyone has to be useful in the same ways, but I think you have to be useful to other people. If you can't offer service, then I don't really understand how you can like tangibly through actions be able to love people.
But what if you had offered a lot of service through your life and there is a period where you can't? Does that make them completely useless and they should get rejected despite how useful they had been up until that point?
I think that would depend. If it was just true for a few people, I think that would be one thing. If I just thought that was the case for most of the people in my life, then I don't think I would. I would definitely feel some type of way about it. Yeah.
Okay, so extenuating circumstances, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not as bad then.
No, it's still pretty bad.
No, it's not. It's fine. When he said it originally as an insecurity, it just seems really sad.
Yeah, it just feels very transactional, very empty and hollow. Like he probably doesn't know what love means. Do you think?
No, I was worried that he didn't feel worthwhile because he felt like he had to be useful all the time. That seemed kind of sad.
But if he feels that way about himself, he probably views other people that way, like as a means to an end.
Well, it seems so, but not necessarily a means to an end.
Basically, I mean, if they're not worth something, if they're not doing something for him exactly at that point in time, I guess he just doesn't think they're worth anything, you know? That's what it feels like.
Do you, Aba? You didn't say that. I don't think.
I feel like Destiny feels that way for sure.
See how he's trying to flip it back on me now to avoid the...
Absolutely. Well, isn't that why you're polyamorous? You need people to constantly service you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's why you keep having to fuck everybody.
But you know what? As a polyamorous person, I would never dump one of my partners just because they got a little bit sick. And here you are making videos about my partner got cancer, and you would just dump them to the curb, which I think demonstrates Kelly's point
I know
Exactly.
100%. If you just had a girlfriend of like a year and she had terminal cancer, she was dying a couple of years, and she couldn't fuck no more, you would 100% get rid of her.
No way, I don't need to, because I just go fuck one of my other poly partners. That's why polyamory is superior. Boom, I don't need to dump anybody. I know, it's hard being wrong, but you know, what can I say? I got it figured out, you know?
Steven, if she could beg no more, she's like, I need you to spend more time with me. And you're like, nah, I gotta go fuck other bitches. Like,
She can spend more time. Yeah, she can sit in the corner and watch, bro. Boom. Easy.
And she not down with that. She said, no, Steven, I need
Well, then we
someone.
wouldn't be dating, because I only date poly people. Boom, checkmate. Dude, I got this figured out 7 ways to Sunday, motherfucker. Your fight here is with Kelly, not with me, my friend.
I don't buy it. I could never see Steven in like a full-time caretaker mode. Just not a chance. If she's like, I need you to wipe my ass every day, do all this other stuff, and take care of me.
I think it depends on what you said earlier about like the time investment. Like I'm probably approaching that point with Melina. Like if she were to like break her leg or something, I'd probably help her out a lot the other day, because we've been together for like 4 years. Like there's gonna be like a decently strong bond there. If it was a girlfriend I've been dating for like 6 months,
She didn't break her leg. She lost both her legs. She in a wheelchair forever, and her pussy sewn up. Can't.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just asking. I'm actually, because you saw the video. I'm assuming then. Okay, so what is your line? Well, here's the hypothetical. Okay, I'm gonna be very generous, and then we're gonna scale it back to see how far you're an asshole. Okay.
Okay.
So the first line is, you guys have been married for 10 years. Let's say you have one child together. She loses both her legs from brain cancer. She like loses the function of her legs, and her pussy sewn up. Can't fuck her anymore.
She lost her legs from brain cancer.
Lost her function, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That actually does happen.
I thought he said she just doesn't have legs now.
No.
She's got no legs.
She got legs, but they're
She's
like, you know what I
paralyzed.
mean, they just dangle over the edge. So,
Okay.
what are you doing in those circumstances?
Oof. Well, we got an open relationship, so she can hang around the house and I'll help her when I can, but I mean, I'm probably not throwing away the rest of my life, probably in caretaking mode, right?
Okay. Okay, well, then I won't ask you about the other ones.
Yeah, we're already done right there. Easy, problem solved.
I think a lot of people were like, you sociopath, you piece of shit. And I think the fact that you guys have a situation where you guys are polyamorous probably allows for a little bit more flexibility than a lot of other couples.
Maybe, but also you got to keep in mind that shit is hard, right? Because like, imagine the love you think you have for a wife, right, or a husband. Love for a child is going to be even stronger, and even caretaking children that have diseases like that can get exhausting for people, right? So taking care of adults is like that's a very, very, very challenging. Whenever you've got like a child with disabilities, that's probably one of like the hardest and most conflicting jobs in the world, is to have to take so much care of somebody and then feel horrible about it, and then feel horrible about feeling horrible about it. Like it's probably one of the roughest jobs ever, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I would think that if I was 10 years in, that's something I want to stick through. But I wasn't surprised, but it was funny how many people messaged me like, oh, you wouldn't stay with your girlfriend of 2 years after she lost like her limbs and her body, that she might die in a couple years, like, and everybody so flippantly said like I would 100% stay, but I question how true that was, because from what I've read up on, at least when women in marriages get very ill or terminally ill, it's much more common for men to leave the relationship, one, and two, almost everybody who I've known who's taken on a very serious caretaker's role has said it's one of the most demanding and exhausting things possible. And so,
I mean, caretaker burnout is real, even for just like normal nurses that aren't even related to the people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think some people like romanticize the idea because they're convinced of what they would do in the circumstances, not knowing the day-to-day labor that actually requires extremely intense. So yeah, do you think people are lying, or do you think people are unaware?
I mean, people want to believe a certain thing. It's just hard to know like what they would actually do, right? But I think I would extend this to a lot of situations. I might even say it's cap. Like if somebody was to come like barreling down the hall, or if there were like people shooting guns at your girlfriend or whatever, I think every guy would like think, oh yeah, I would jump in front, like I'd do something for sure, 100%. But I mean, unless you've been in the situation, it's probably hard to know even that for sure, right?
Sure. I don't know, maybe in those kind of circumstances, I would believe that a lot of dudes. What about their children? Do you think people would jump in for their kids?
I think for
people
children, I think you would, yeah.
I think most people would. Okay, fair.
I think so.
What about you, Kelly? What do you think about this topic?
I think it would depend on the length of time that I was with the person, obviously, and what goals I had for the future. If I had already
10
had
years, 10
kids,
years married. That was an example.
and I have a kid already, I would probably stay.
No,
with
there's
them.
no kid. There's no kid.
Oh, I don't get one. Oh, that's not fair. Okay.
Yeah, 10 years married, no child. Are you staying if they're all fucked up?
Yeah, because that might be a bit rough, and that the reason for that is if I want to have a kid, it's not even that I couldn't have a kid with them, because that wouldn't be too much of an issue. I could go to a donor clinic, but I wouldn't have anyone to help me with the kid if they are that disabled, right? So I would be looking then after 2 people by myself. That does sound pretty rough, yeah. But if I gave up on the idea of having kids, I would consider it, because I mean I was a HCA nurse, so I've done, like, I used to look after a girl with muscular dystrophy, so I have the experience of caring for someone. It's not, in some ways it's not as bad as people think, but like it is. Obviously I didn't do like 12-hour shifts every day, so that's obviously a lot more.
If your wife gets pregnant and when you guys do like the whole brain scan or whatever the fuck they do, the ultrasound,
See ya.
and the kid got like they did some kind of pre-screening and the kid has like
Down syndrome?
or whatever, just something that would be basically make him like disabled to some degree. Would you go through with an abortion at that point?
I think the to some degree part's important, right? Because
Like, let's say they were going to turn out like you.
Okay.
You keeping it? Yes or no?
If it turns out like me, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, I'm not that bad. I'm not that disabled, all right? But
Destiny,
if it
your
was
kid's about to
Down
turn, like-
syndrome,
Yeah, if your
I
kid's
don't
about to
know.
turn out like Kelly, you gonna keep it?
Listen, life's hard enough, okay?
fuck you, bro. You'd rather have the Down syndrome kid?
I'd rather have the down the toilet kid, okay? That's just going whoosh. See ya.
Feels bad, man.
Well, listen, hopefully you guys bring back the Hasan guy and get him unbanned.
Yeah, Awuga. Unban him. RTBA, did you unban him yet?
You should have RTBA come up here and justify his ban. That shit crazy, bro.
He won't talk ever. He's a non-talker.
All right.
Yeah. Wait, who left?
Huh? Abba left.
Oh,
That was random.
true.